When a diagnosis reveals there is so much more to the story that the customer didn't even know was happening with their car. Let's find out what's going on with this SSR. Let's get started. This is a 2006 Chevy SSR, and I'm going to apologize right off the bat for my groggy voice. I do have a cold. But I'm not going to stop doing videos for you guys. This one's in fair shape, but it came in with a complaint of the ABS light on. And just like it happens so many times, when it finally shows up and we pull it into the shop, we find out it has the ABS light on and a check engine light and another light that we weren't told about. And you know, as sure as the day is long, if you only fix the ABS light problem only, the customer will say, I put all this money in this car, why do I still have lights on my dash? So you have to figure out what all the lights are and present all of it. Even though it came in with just an ABS problem, we're going to find out today there was so much more wrong, and how someone tried to repair a part on this car that it looks like a repair from a third grader. Let's take a look around this thing. So this thing is almost a 20-year-old vehicle. It's already starting to show some of the wear. The Chevy emblem has got some peeling chrome or gold, whatever color that is starting to come off. I always did like the front end of these. They look pretty cool. But as we come around to the side, see this one's driven up here. We just had a snowstorm, so it's a little dirty. The side profile on these is really cool. I always liked the way these looked. And it looks like there's lines in the roof section areas, actually because it's fully convertible. It can all come down and be basically an open air drive. It's really interesting. As we come around to the side, you can see that it is a truck, but I actually had a customer come in the other day that said it's a truck that can't really do truck things. I'll let you guys in the comment section tell us what you think about that comment. The paint is all fair back here. As we come around to the other side, it's also in decent shape, but as we come to the front right quarter panel, or wheel well, whatever you want to call it, you can see it's got some fading going on right in through here. So for those of you who are not aware of these vehicles or not seen too much of them or don't know much about them, you would think, well, this probably has a V6 or something in it, something modest. It's just a cool truck to look cool. Just like a PT Cruiser, they don't come with a V8. Plymouth Prowler doesn't even have a V8. But this one does. It's an LS-based 6-liter V8. These could come with a 5.3 or a 6-liter. This one happens to be the 6-liter. And they're roughly into 340 horsepower, 360, 370 torque range. And depending on what model of GM vehicle you got, they had different ratings, but I think that's what this one is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the issues that this vehicle has are not in the engine bay. Luckily, there's no leaks or nothing serious going on. It runs fine. I'll show you something in the back of this truck that's kind of frustrating and has caused a lot of trouble for SSR owners. So I'm at Walmart. I just bought a big screen TV and I have a truck. So I'm going to do truck things with it. So I'll go ahead and open the rear hatch.
Wizard, you're not going to get anywhere with doing that. Nope. Nope. Nice try.
Okay. Well, how do you get this open? Let's see if there's anything over there by the driver's door. Well, not seeing nothing there. I don't see any buttons or any pull levers. Now, obviously, I know how to get in here. It's with your key fob. But I wanted to show you guys who maybe borrowed this from your friend and you don't know anything about these, and you actually wanted to haul something in the bed, you would have no idea. How the hell am I going to get in here? There are no buttons or anything to get in. It's right here. I just push the little circle button there and it pops this hard tonneau cover. Now you can access a pull handle to get the tailgate down. It's right here. Until you get this open, you can't get to this. And it has been a common failure on these that the electronic actuator dies on these. And it's quite a big deal to try to get inside. Can you imagine you just bought a TV, you go to push the button, and it dies at that moment. So this is kind of where this customer that came in made the comment. He knew of this problem. He's like, it's a truck that doesn't do truck things really. And I guess if you bought it just to be a show type of a truck, it does that very well. If you want to buy one of these and say, I'm going to haul things with it, no, it's probably not a good idea. Although it can, it's not as feasible. Let's let Mrs. Wizard show you guys around the interior.
There we have it, 141,743 miles. And Wizard says I have to turn it off right away, save that battery. One thing I found was interesting is that here is the key. Now the fob is apparently super mega important, but the key is not. This is one you could have had made at your local hardware store. Interesting. But gauge cluster, nice, looks good, pretty standard, nothing too crazy going on. They do have a cover that does say SSR on it, and not sure what's going on underneath, but we're not going to look because customer put it there and that's what they want. So move down, everything is a dark charcoal color. They did upgrade their stereo system to a Pioneer, kind of a double din kind of a system with some, connectivity and some Bluetooth. Okay, that's nice. We do have some wear on our HVAC controls there. You can kind of see that things are starting to wear off just a touch, but again, it is a 19-year-old truck. As you move down, it does have a very interesting gear selector, and obviously we know which order the gears are in, but there's nothing that denotes that. So I'm not sure if there's something up in the dash that'll say which gear you're in, but that's what we have. You'll note that we have many of our controls in the center section for our windows, our door lock, the convertible top, but nothing is actually on the door cards that you'll see in just a second. This center console reminds me a lot of my Porsche Boxster with the yellow integrated into the center section as well. It does have a very irregularly shaped armrest here in the center, and that is because on the other side it does have the parking brake. So they have to leave that so it has room. So I guess the driver gets the advantage of having most of the armrest to themselves. So we move back. We do have a spot here that says that this is the 2006 final production run of the SSR. Seats are leather and they are in good shape. They have a few little marks or so, but looking good, no tears or anything, and they're rather comfortable. They do have a little bit of bolster on the side. The door card again is more charcoal. Everything is charcoal, but it does have silver accents with the handle and the door release, which gives it just a little bit of contrast to all the dark gray in the truck. Headliner is looking good, and this is that convertible top again, and this is a hard top. It is not soft, so it actually doesn't, it's nice and firm. It doesn't actually give like a normal convertible cloth top. Here we are at that steering wheel, and looks like maybe they've had a few little spills here or there, maybe some coffee, some soda. We know that cannot be good for things, but again, got lots of controls there in that center section along with that lovely Chevy bow tie in the center. So enough of this interior talk. Let's get this thing up on the lift and see what's going on underneath.
Before we get this on the lift, I want to show you basically what we found with the check engine light. Let me show you the dash here. You see it does have ABS and brake light, warning light on, but we never were told anything by the customer about this. So there's this common misconception that if we fix this, this will go away. We have to be cognizant of that. And that rarely ever happens. I've actually been through this scenario so many times. Pick up their car and they say, I thought we had this fixed, the light's still on. Yes, your ABS light has been fixed. You have other problems with your check engine light. Oh, I thought they were all the same. So we're going to show you, although it has the ABS light on, there are other problems completely unrelated. Let's look at the codes. Oh no, catalyst system low efficiency. Both bank 1 and bank 2. That means both cats are shot. That's not going to be fixed by getting the ABS light off. Let's get this thing on the lift and take a look. So here's the bottom of this SSR, and one thing we're noticing right off the bat, there's some oil right here on this little cross brace, and it is the oil pan gasket that's leaking. Now there's no warning lights for that, but that's more to add to the bill. That was not originally planned for, but it is leaking. Let's take a look at the suspension and brakes on the front. Looks like it's had some ball joints put on recently. Struts look fine. Nothing loose on the sway bar, and brakes look brand new as well. Somebody's put new brakes on it. Ball joint over here on the lower end. Brakes have been done. Strut is dry. Upper control arms as well. Looks like it's been replaced. Everything looks good there. It's got a nice pair here, Mrs. Wizard.
Those little kitties are having some problems though.
They are. And when you go to replace the cats on these, you buy this entire Y pipe. It's $700 or $800. I did call my exhaust shop and ask him, can he just cut the cats off and just put new cats on? He said, yeah, I can. With the parts and labor, you'll be at $700. I was like, well, then what's the point of that? That's just the parts. That doesn't include the labor pulling this all apart, and there could be broken studs and things like that. And that price that the exhaust shop gave us was us removing it and bringing it to him. So there's still the labor to do all that. So all $700 or $800 for this, and then the labor to remove them, and that still doesn't take off our ABS light. Let's continue on our inspection, but you do see we did have an ABS code for no communication and no power of the ABS module. We haven't removed the electrical portion. We just have this hanging here for now. I'll show you what we found with that. Here's our girthy drive shaft, Mrs. Wizard.
Whoa, that is a big boy.
Everything looks good there. Exhaust looks good. I don't see any rust. The fuel tank's all intact. Let's get this trolley jack out of the way. Then we come to our rear differential and axle. There's no leaks going on. It has coil springs in the back. It's a nice track rods, sway bar links, sway bar, everything looks good there. The brakes in the back, they're not been replaced, but they still have over 50% remaining. We have a Panhard bar here. Everything's nice and tight on that. Sway bar link's good here. Brake pads are good. Shocks are good. Everything's good. So we've been through most of the truck and you haven't seen a battery yet. It's actually kind of inconvenient. It's in the back. You have to lay on the ground, pull this black panel off to get to the battery. So if you look in the engine bay when you have a bad battery on an SSR, you're not going to find it. It's in the back under the bed.
Definitely not a location your local parts store is going to do.
No, that's one of those situations. If you go to your favorite parts store, they do free battery replacements. Until they see this, they're going to say, no, take it to a shop. It does have ability to have a tow hitch setup. There has a little connector there. You can tow something with it, but I just don't know if I would buy this truck for that. Let's get this thing back on the ground and take a look at this ABS problem. So if you're looking at buying one of these, remember, when that fails, you're in trouble. And also, if you're looking at buying one, make sure that works before you buy it. So this is the ABS module. Junior Mint actually pulled me aside to take a look at it before we pulled it off. He's continuing to get better and better every day. He doesn't have 30 years behind him being a mechanic, but he's got years and he's really good. He's starting to catch things that really impresses me. He said, Wizard, it looks like super glue that's on this connector, and someone has been in here and siliconed it. He said someone's had this apart already. And I said, good catch, Junior Mint. There's definitely something going on here. Go ahead and pull it off. Let's take a look at what's going on. And when I got it in my hands, you didn't have to pull very hard, just very lightly. And the whole cap came off. Look at that terrible silicone backyard glue job there. You guys ready for a laugh? I've been soldering things for a long time. I can fix these modules when they haven't been tampered with. Let's take a look at these third grader solder jobs. These are pins that you can fix. These do go bad and you can resolder them and bring these things back to life. Unfortunately, it looks like a third grader did it. Up here, they soldered two pins together and short-circuited the whole circuit board. You can see the little blob right there. Both pins are touching. Terrible, terrible work. I've repaired many of these in the past. Sometimes you can bring them back to life, sometimes you can't. But I did contact the people I use that rebuilds these. I've used them for years and I trust them. I told them, I have this one here. It's been pried apart and been messed with, and as soon as I said that, both people that I called said, we're not working on it. No warranty, we are not touching it. If it's been tampered with, it's been cut open, we don't know what the hell they did. There's no way we can put a warranty behind somebody else's work that obviously did third grader solder jobs. That means this thing is trash. It's not rebuildable. No one who rebuilds these is going to take this on because obviously it's been tampered with. So being that this one can't be rebuilt, it's now basically a paperweight. thanks to whoever did that, we're going to have to get a good used one. There are no new ones. They don't make these anymore. You can't go buy a new one. So a good used one it is. I made sure to match up to this part number that's on the side, 134551157. We got it ordered. We'll reinstall, and I'm 99.999% sure it's going to come back to life. It couldn't communicate with this module because it's shorted out, and there's no power to the module because I don't know what they did to this thing. They fried it. So, trash. When we contacted the customer, he just bought this not too long ago. He was unaware of the whole ABS, that somebody's been in there and tampered with it. It was done before he even owned it. So whoever sold this to him knowingly sold him a car with 3rd grade level solder work on the ABS module. That's pretty crappy. Pre-purchase inspections, everybody. I keep telling people that sometimes email me, does this car look good? Does that car look good? I don't know. I'm not there. Pre-purchase inspection. Wherever you live, find your local trusted mechanic, say, look this car over. You're going to pay for it. It's not free. And get it checked out. But we also presented to this customer, your ABS light is on. This is the problem. But then you have a whole other set of problems with the check engine light. That has nothing to do with your ABS. And your oil pan's leaking. And it was going to be thousands to get this fixed with all the labor and parts and everything. He's like, okay, I understand. I just bought this thing and I'm starting to see how I might have been taken advantage of here. He said, skip the oil pan, skip the cats, just fix the ABS light. And we were made sure to tell him, your ABS light will go out, your check engine light will not go out. It will stay on for eternity, as long as those cats have not been replaced. We always make sure we tell people that, because soon they drive out here and they're upset. Customers aware, we're approved on the ABS module, nothing more. So it's possible in the future the customer might get those other issues addressed, but this wouldn't take too much to make this a very perfect showroom truck. It's really in pretty good condition, just needs a little things fixed here and there, and just needs a little cleaning and whatnot. But I definitely wanted to give a video to you guys on the SSR to show you a few things that are common failures on them. And how sometimes you buy a car from someone, something goes wrong, you take it to a shop, only to find out a whole new ball game has just arrived in your vicinity. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know all this was wrong. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this SSR or any other car in the shop, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. If you purchase anything there, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because we have so many more cool videos to come. Thanks for watching.